Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome back to Unmute Your Mic with Mohammed. I am host Mohammed bin Yas, also known as Business Wala. Today we have very special international guest joining us from United States. Our guest Mr. Mark Astor is a former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, legal analyst, entrepreneur, and a nationally recognized behavioral health law attorney with more than 30 years of courtroom experience. So first of all, we will welcome our guest. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me as a guest. Nice to see you.
Okay, so we are going to ask you questions in this interview. So about your habits and about your work. What you will do in courtroom. So first of all, my first question is you were born and raised in United Kingdom and later built a successful career in United States. What was that journey like?
Well, I mean, I lived in England till right before I was 21, so it wasn't that big of a change. My family had been coming to the United States probably for about 10 years before that, so I was somewhat used to the United States. But I will tell you, there's a difference between coming here for a vacation and living here. So I had to adjust that. But the good news was I did my all my education here. So I went off to college here. So it wasn't such a big adjustment because I was studying and I had a social life, so it wasn't too bad. But for other members of my family, especially my sister, it was a little different because she wasn't studying. My brother was in high school, so it was difficult for her. She ended up actually going back to England for a period of time.
Okay. Uh, okay. This is you are. This is difficult. From your country to another, so adjusting is very difficult. So, what did you dream of becoming when you are young? Young.
So I have to tell you, I don't think I knew what I was going to do. My I come from somewhat humble beginnings. My father left school at 14, and my mother left school at 16. So nobody in my family was educated. But my father told me it was important to get an education and to have a profession, because he said if you have a profession, you should always be able to make a living. So towards the end of my time at the University of Michigan, where I did my undergraduate degree, I decided it was time I was going to go to law school. I figured if I didn't do it then, I was never going to do it. So I decided to go to law school. That's how I ended up in law school anyway.
Okay, that's very amazing. Your father and mother tell you about. So, what did you dream of becoming when you are young?
What did I do? Well, I don't know. I don't think I knew what I wanted to do. My life has been about constant change. I was a prosecutor for a long time. I did defense work for a long time. Then I tried very hard not to practice law, and then I became a legal entrepreneur, and I built a law firm with no money when I was broke. And we're 10 years in now. I have a team of 15 people. So I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until I needed to be one, and then I discovered I was an entrepreneur. But I also had some mentors along the way that helped to nudge me in the right direction. So I mean, I'm 59 now, and I don't think I really figured out my life until I was about 47 or 48 years old. So it took a long time for me. It was a bit of a journey. Many failures along the way.
Very impressive, very amazing. Okay, so what inspired you to purpose a career in law?
Well, I mean, I think probably I was probably influenced by watching all these TV lawyers, and I figured if I went to law school, I'd probably always have a profession behind me, even if I never practiced. So I decided, probably my last semester when I was doing my undergraduate degree, that this was the time to do it because I didn't know what else to do. So I said, well, why not go to law school?
Okay, so what was your first experience as prosecutor like?
So my very first experience was in 1993. So that ages me a little bit, right? Makes me sound old. I know. It's okay. Um, when I was an intern. So I got an opportunity to be a student intern between my second and third years of law school. And as an intern, I could do everything the lawyers could do, with a couple of exceptions. And I got a chance to try my first real case. And I knew right then and there that I was supposed to be a prosecutor and try cases, which was good because I didn't really have a passion for the law, and I can't tell you I was a particularly good student either. Um, but once I got in the courtroom, I knew that everything started to make sense to me. Everything I'd learned in law school up to that point started to make sense to me.
Okay, that's a very good story you are telling. So, having handled thousands of criminals cases, which experience had the biggest impact on you?
Say that one more time. Which case had the biggest impact on me?
Yes, yes.
Probably the first time I tried a murder case. You know that when you get to try murder cases as a prosecutor, you're like, okay, right. Those are the cases that are reserved for the very senior lawyers or very skilled lawyers in the office. And I was actually a very junior guy. In fact, I was the most junior prosecutor ever to try a murder case. That's how confident I was, or maybe I shouldn't say confident. That's how cocky I was when it came to trying cases. But I believe that I believe that I was really good. And I said, hey, listen, is there any murder cases coming in? And there was a senior prosecutor who wanted somebody to co-counsel the case, to sit as his second chair. And I stole the show.
Okay, it was very dangerous. So, how did working as both a prosecutor and defense attorney shape your view of justice?
Um, I don't know if it shaped my view of justice. I will tell you, it made me a much better lawyer, because then I had to start looking at cases from a very different perspective, right? I knew what the prosecutor was going to do. The question is, how was I going to poke holes in the prosecutor's case? So it really challenged my analytical skills, and I think that really helped me to be a better lawyer today, right? Because now I can see a case from both sides. So if you're on one side, you want to be able to anticipate what the other side's going to do, and hopefully plug the holes before they find the weaknesses in your case. So I think it made me a better lawyer.
Okay, lawyers are amazing. You are very amazing. So, what was the toughest challenge you faced during your legal career?
Biggest challenge, hmm, probably starting my own law firm, because then you have to do everything, right? You have to do sales, you have to do marketing, you have to find clients, you have to sign them up, then you have to do all the legal work, and then you have to go to court, and you have to be prepared to go to court. So I think starting my own law firm was the biggest challenge of my legal career.
Okay, so what motivated you to focus on mental health and addiction related cases?
So I guess a couple of things. Number one, I was very lucky. I got to work with somebody who became a mentor of mine, and he taught me about the importance of finding a group of people that you could help. So in other words, finding a passion, a mission for the law firm. The reason I picked this particular area was because I had family members and friends who had these issues, and nobody had built a law firm helping these people. I'm the first one. Now, since then, other people have come along and they're trying to copy me, and that's okay. There's lots of people that need help. Um, but I wanted to build a law firm that did one thing, and one thing only, and did it better than anybody else. And that was my mission.
Okay, very good. So, how serious is the mental health and addiction crisis in America today?
I think it's really serious. So one of the things that we've done here, so of our 50 states, 40 of them have legalized marijuana. And I think that's been a disaster. What's happened is that we have a whole generation of people who are now suffering from marijuana induced psychosis. So if somebody has any kind of predisposition for any kind of mental health issue, when you use marijuana, at least the marijuana that's being sold here, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire, and it causes all kinds of problems. So that is a very big problem that we're seeing.
So, what is the biggest misconception people have about addiction?
Well, I think the biggest misconception is that it's a choice. It's not a choice. It's a disease of the mind. And when you can appreciate and accept that it's a disease, then then you understand that the way to end the disease is to get somebody into treatment. If it's a conscious choice, then maybe you can somehow convince them not to do it. Well, if they were capable of making that decision, they would have made it already. So if they can't make the decision to save themselves, then somebody else has to do it for them. And that's where I come in.
Okay, so you made so many cases about it. So, what should families do when a loved one refuses treatment?
Well, then I think they have to decide if they're ready to make the commitment to save this person. I mean, what we do is we empower families. We give them the authority because once someone's 18 or over, they get to decide how they want to live their life. And if they don't want to go to treatment, then they're not going to go. So what we do is we get families the authority, the legal ability to make the decision. So families just have to decide: Are you ready to make the commitment? Are you tired of the chaos? Are you tired of seeing your loved ones suffer? Because if you are, then we may have an option for you. If you haven't reached that point yet and you're okay with how things are, then you're okay with how things are. But you know the true definition of insanity, right? Is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Doesn't That's sometimes what we see.
Okay, so can you share a success story where your work helped transform someone's life?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can think of one off the top of my head. We had a mom and dad who had an adult son. He was 28 or 29, a very bright young man, very good with the stock market and things of that nature. But he started using marijuana a couple of years before and really developed really bad psychosis. He was paranoid and delusional. And we were able to, get him into treatment. But, when somebody's been sick for a while, um, it can take, it can really take a year before they come back. So we got him into treatment, and my understanding is that he's doing well, but it takes a little time. But that was just one of the examples of the cases that we've had. But we've dealt with many families like this. I mean, there's just one that comes to mind, probably because his parents were such nice people. So I remembered them.
Okay, very very makes sense. So you and your wife started your law firm from a public library with no clients and no funding. What was the biggest challenge during those early days?
Uh, Probably getting clients, because without clients, you can't pay your bills. So that was the biggest challenge, right? First of all, nobody had built a law firm doing this work, so nobody knew I was out there. And so I live in Florida, but I hadn't lived in Florida for many years. I'd been living in California. So just letting people know I was here and I'd built this law firm was challenging. So I spent a lot of time having a lot of coffees and lunches and dinners, and I ran around to treatment centers and handed out my business card. I had to hustle for a long time. I did not get my first case for 14 months. So I had to take other kinds of cases to pay my bills. So that was the biggest challenge. And that's always the big challenge, right? Is because if you want to grow the firm, the business, you have to have more clients. So the constant challenge is to keep the phone ringing and make it ring more, more, more.
Everyone in their business want clients, and they have the biggest challenge is about clients. So, what was your secret? Everyone telling a secret, and what was your? How did you grow the small startup into a nationally recognized law practice?
Well, I think it's about letting people know that you can help them. So, I mean, obviously, I spend a lot of time. Hold on one second. Thank you. I have a sick dog sitting in my lap here. Holly, stop. My dog is very sick and she's having a moment. I apologize.
No
Um,
problem.
I'm going to ask you to, did you ask the question again for me if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, no problem. Everyone in business have your issue. They don't have clients. I also. So how did you grow that small startup into a national recognized law practice?
Well, I mean, look, it didn't happen overnight. I mean, we've been going 10 years now, a little over 10 years. And so, I mean, it's a number of things, right? I'm very active. I, I'm very active in social media. And what I do is I give a lot of value and content away for free. I give a lot of information away for free. So I make videos every day talking about the work we do and how we can help people. And I post them on all the different media platforms. I've also got a book I've written. I have a podcast. Um, Recently, I've been doing national television. There's been some big criminal trials here, and some of the networks have reached out to me to do some commentary. So that's given me some exposure. Um, but when you're building a business, Mohammed, it's like pushing a boulder up the hill. You got to use a lot of energy, right? And at the bottom of the hill, it takes a lot more energy than it does when you get closer to the top. But what happens is, as the business grows, right, the top of the mountain keeps moving because you want to get a little bit higher every year. So every year brings different challenges. I mean, you know, with the number of clients we have, I couldn't do all the work that I'm doing and do all the marketing and run the sales team. So I've had to hire people. That brings its own challenges, right? It means hiring staff. Do they believe in the mission of the firm? Do they buy into your core values? Do they appreciate what you're doing? And so, as the business grows, we deal with different challenges.
uh, Making your own business is very difficult, and the job is easy, but making your own business is a small business or a big business is difficult. You are the owner, so that's why. What interpersonal lessons have you learned from building your own business?
I think the biggest lesson has been to learn to delegate, because you got to remember, for the first 7 years, we did everything, and I got used to doing it my way. So when you hire people, you have to trust them. They can do it. Some of them, sometimes they can do it better than I can do it. But you also have to set people up for success, right? So we invest a lot in our team. I invest in ongoing training for the team. I spend a lot of time with them. Like this morning, I spent almost an hour and a half with my sales team, right? Dealing with different issues they come up with, that they encounter when they are on the phone with somebody. So um, it's challenging. How's that? But it's interesting. And, there's nothing like trying to control your own destiny. I suspect that you're an entrepreneur. Am I right about that?
Yes, I am like not, but I am going to make me entrepreneur.
Okay. Maybe we could talk
Yeah.
about that when we're done with the podcast.
In future I will entrepreneur. So I am asking what is your dog name and what is your dog breed?
What,
Rottweiler.
so my dog's name is Harley, and she's a golden
Okay.
retriever. She's 10 years old, but unfortunately she has cancer in one of her legs. And so we've been dealing with this for a couple of years. So, um, but every once in a while she has a moment and she needs my attention. But she likes to sit with me every day. She's sitting right down by me. She does this every day. She sits with me. So keeps me company.
What?
She's making sure I get my work done.
Okay, okay. What is breed like? I know Rottweiler, Pitbull, Husky. What is there?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
No, no, I'm just asking that what breed, like Rottweiler, Pitbull. I know like
Oh,
that
yeah,
type.
she's a golden retriever. She's a retriever. So if I throw something, she's supposed to go and get it.
Okay, okay, okay. So, okay, amazing, very amazing. So, what are the three most important qualities of a successful entrepreneur?
You want to know the most successful things? Grit, grit, and grit. What do I mean by that? I mean that success is a bit like the stock market, right? The trend is upwards if you keep at it, right? If you keep If you stay in the stock market, the trend is up. But on a daily basis, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Right? What is it? What do I mean by that? I mean that some days are easier than others. Some days the phone's ringing off the hook, and some days it's not ringing at all. And so you have to be able to ride out the good and the bad. And if you stay with it like the stock market, the trend is upwards, success. But you have to be willing to deal with the different situations that come up with the business. It's not all, it's not all smooth sailing. It's been 10 years of hard work and dealing with different issues and finding the right staff and the right clients and changing the marketing. I mean, it's like a child. It needs constant nurturing and attention. See, if you ignore a child, bad things happen. It's the same with the business. And so you have to have grit, right? And you have to be able to overcome. You have to be able to overcome the issues that come up and stay with it and keep going, even when you don't feel like it.
Very, very good, sir. I like it. So, I want to know that like my name is Business Wala. So, I want to do a business. So, like I do alone, like Elon Musk, or I do duo like Bill Gates with his friend, make Microsoft and like grow. Which was the best option?
Say that one more time. I heard the question about an option, but I didn't catch the rest beforehand.
Sorry, sir. My English some weak.
Your English is good.
So
Your English is good. There's just a little bit of background noise. That's all. You're doing great. You're asking me some good
okay.
questions.
Yes.
So I'm impressed.
Sorry about my background noise. So
It's
I
okay.
want. I name like business wala. So I want to know that solo business. I do solo business like Elon Musk, or I do a duo business with my friend or cousin like Bill Gates to make Microsoft with his friend.
So you're asking me, should you do your own business or should you do something with family?
Yes, with like a friend or cousin or anyone.
Well, I guess the question you need to ask yourself is, do you need anybody else?
Yes, yes.
Okay. But I think what's the most important. So I have a partner too. She also happens to be my wife, and she runs the parts of the business that I don't like to run and that I'm not very good at running. And I run the bit of the business that she's not very good at running. So she complements me. And I'll tell you right now, I could not have grown the business without her. I would not have I mean, it maybe would have grown, but it wouldn't, not like it is, right? I couldn't, this would not have happened without her. So that's important, right? You want a partner that complements you, but also you have to share the same goals. So my wife and I, what makes our business work, but also our marriage, is that we share the same goals, right? Because if you've got a partner that wants to go this way and you want to go that way, or let's say hypothetically speaking, you want to make $1 million a year and he only wants to make $500,000 a year, 6 months in, when he's made his 500,000, he's going to stop working. But you need him to work so you can make the other $500,000. Does that make sense? You got to share the same goals, the same vision of the future for your business. Because if you don't, then it isn't going to work. It'll be a disaster. You'll end up destroying the business and probably your friendship with him too. But you know what they say? The fastest way to ruin a friendship? Going to business with your friend. That's the fastest way to ruin a friendship.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Uh, so I have two more questions about my thing. So I want to run my car business. Open my car showroom first, then car on my car car company. Yes, car company on like BMW and Mercedes, Rolls Royce, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Mercedes. Like they are on the top and everyone talking about them. So I am a car and bike lover. So I want to.
You know what we call
Uh,
people like you?
yes,
We call them petrol heads. You know what I mean by a petrol head?
yes. I
Somebody who
know.
likes cars and motorcycles. You're a petrol head. That's a good thing. I'm a petrol head too.
Yes. So I want to run the car business. So what advice you give to me?
Well, I have a question. So, do you want to sell cars or do you want to design brand new cars that nobody's seen yet?
So first I want to sell. Then I want to. My dream is this, that I design cars, my own company.
Well, I think if you're going to start to sell cars, I would start small. I would find a cheap car, you fix it up, and you sell it. And then you do one more, right? And you take the profits from the first one and maybe you put it into two more cars. So you start small. And then when you've got enough cars, maybe you go get a warehouse or a showroom, right? So you start small so that when you make mistakes, because in business and in life, we make mistakes, right? So you want to make the mistakes small and you want to learn from those mistakes. So I always say, whenever I make a mistake, and trust me, I make them every day. It's the universe telling me, no, 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 don't go that way, go this way, right? But as the business grows, when I make a mistake, it tends to be a bigger mistake than when it was 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, I didn't have enough money to, there wasn't much at risk. I didn't have it to risk. So start small, try to learn from your mistakes because you're going to make them, and then implement something different. Don't make the same mistake twice, because then you right because then you didn't learn from the first time.
Yes, human do mistakes, and in business you are the owner, so you do the mistakes so much. So, and so my next question is about so there this time is happening. Uh, so my last question: if you could share one message with people around the world today, what would it be?
Here's what I would tell you. I would say that you are responsible for your own successes and your own failures. It's not somebody else's responsibility to save you. It's not your family's responsibility, it's not your friend's responsibility, and it's not the government's responsibility, right? You are responsible for your own successes and your own failures. And I think that when you take 100% responsibility for your own life, then that's a beautiful thing. But nobody's there, nobody's coming to save you. No one's coming to give you $1 million. It doesn't work like that, right? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I'll if I was going to if I had two lawyers applying for the same job, you know what I want? I want the guy that works the hardest, not the most talented, because hard work beats talent, and talent don't work hard. So work hard.
Amazing advice and amazing interview with you. Very, I like that. So our interview is ending. So, Mr. Mark Astor, thank you so much for sharing your experience, insights,
You're
and
welcome.
wisdom with us today. So, as a teenager myself, what advice you give? So, I like it. So, goodbye, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum, everyone.